Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time, and I want to give you the latest update in terms of the stimulus negotiations. And there's been talk of a skinny bill. I'm going to give you the skinny on the GOP skinny bill and why I think there's no meat on it and why I believe it's not going to go anywhere. But first, let me give you all the background information so you have all the facts. There's a new GOP skinny bill that does not include stimulus checks as far as the latest reporting goes, and it cuts the extra unemployment benefits in half relative to the $600 a week unemployment booster that existed prior to the end of July. So here's where things stand right now. Some Senate Republicans have actually put forward another economic stimulus package called a skinny bill, and they want to address the fallout caused by this pandemic, and they understand the gridlock that exists right now between the House and the Senate. But the proposal does not include the $1,200 stimulus checks, and it would cut the federal unemployment benefits down to $300 relative to the $600 federal unemployment benefits that were there in the CARES Act. By the way, this is consistent with the Republican position that the $600 a week unemployment booster would discourage individuals from getting back to work. So the proposal, again called the skinny plan, was introduced because Democrats and Republicans and the administration are simply not in consensus right now. And so where things stand right now is under the new GOP proposal, the previous $600 a week would be cut down to $300. And Politico actually reported this. And in fact, this article was originally reported in Newsweek. So I will provide you with a link to the Newsweek article in the description section below so you can check it out. So this legislation, which Politico reported, could be added to a continuing resolution to fund the government, because there's going to be more legislation regarding government funding that's coming up. And like I said, it does not include stimulus checks. Now, keep in mind, the original HEROES Act, which was a Democratic proposal that was passed in the House, was a $3 trillion proposal, which included stimulus checks, and the $1 trillion HEALS Act also included stimulus checks. So there is consensus between both sides about the need to send out $1,200 stimulus checks, which a lot of our viewers and subscribers at Ignition Time are waiting for. I'm not sure why they haven't included $1,200 stimulus checks, but the fact is they haven't, not in this skinny version of the bill. So it's not very clear why they're not included, even though both sides support the stimulus check. So beyond the unemployment benefits, so again, this skinny bill would include $300 unemployment benefits, would not include the $1,200 stimulus check. So beyond that unemployment benefit, the bill would also provide over $100 billion in funding for education, which is a sticking point for some conservative GOP lawmakers. It would also provide $10 billion in funding to bolster the United States Postal Service, and this is what the Democrats are going to take up by way of a House bill in the next few days. Now, if you remember, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said the following words about the HEROES Act when it was passed a few months ago by the House. He said it was dead on arrival in the Senate. You probably remember that. Now, I'm telling you, my viewers and subscribers, that in my opinion, this skinny bill is going to be dead on arrival. Why? Because the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is not going to budge. She simply is, as far as she's made clear that she's going to go down from 3.4 trillion down to 2.4 trillion, and that's it. She's not budging. The Problem Solvers Caucus can talk as much as they want. All the Democrats can try and convince her as much as they want. The GOP, the GOP can come up with a skinny bill, but House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ain't budging. She's not going to agree to this. This is my opinion. In my opinion, this is dead on arrival. And what makes this matter even more complicated is that the Senate is currently on recess. So let me back up. First of all, it's not clear whether Democrats or even the remaining Republicans will agree to this proposal. And also the Republican-led Senate is currently on recess until after Labor Day on September 7th. So even if there is some sort of a consensus, and by the way, there is no mention of the $1,200 stimulus check in the skinny bill. Even if there is some consensus, we're not going to see anything for the next several weeks, potentially until autumn. So that's where things stand right now. And I know it's not the news you guys want to hear, but my goal is to give you the actual news and to tell you and to give you my insight on it. That's why you're here on this channel. And let's be clear, the Democratic controlled House of Representatives is going to meet in the next few days to talk about the United States Postal Service. And again, the new GOP bill would also give $45 billion to the Department of Health and Human Services. Out of that $45 billion, $20 billion would go towards vaccines and therapeutic management and production, and the $16 billion would go to state and local governments. $6 billion would be put aside to prepare for and distribute potential vaccines, because a vaccine is coming at some point, and then states need money to be able to distribute that vaccine. That's where things stand right now. Now, there was some brand new reporting from Politico, and I will provide you with a link to the Politico website so you can check that out for yourself. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, who's one of the key negotiators on behalf of the Trump administration with the Democrats, he is planning to be in DC for the House vote on Saturday. So this seems to be an attempt to talk to Democrats and to try and get some consensus. So there could be some news coming on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And I have mentioned this. I mentioned this a couple of days ago on my channel. There could be some news coming. Let's see what happens. It's very clear, though, that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is not going to budge, which is why I think this skinny bill is a complete waste of time. This is my opinion, and hopefully I'm proved wrong. For me, honestly, it's not about being proved right or wrong. I just want people to get help, and I want those who need help the most to get it. Again, for me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. But based on the trends, based on the unfolding of the various chapters in this story, I don't see the skinny bill going anywhere, just so that we are clear. So the White House, like I mentioned, has been pushing for a small-scale relief bill that includes unemployment, that includes paycheck protection program money. And the Democrats, however, have rejected the approach and said that they would be open to talking to the White House if the deal is right around $2 trillion, which they consider to be halfway between their offer and the offer from the Republicans. So it seems like, based on Politico's reporting, that there is an effort on the part of Mark Meadows, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, to try and build pressure on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for a deal. So it looks like there is some pressure. Now, keep in mind, and I did report this the other day, that roughly 100 Democrats have signed a letter urging House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer to come to some sort of a consensus and to schedule a vote that would create an enhanced unemployment insurance program. You can see that both sides want some consensus on enhanced unemployment benefits, because this lost wages assistance program that was set up as a result of the president's executive order is doing something, but it's causing a lot of states to go through a lot of unnecessary hurdles. Some states have already said no. I did cover that in more detail in another video. In fact, in several videos on my channel, as and more new updates have been coming along. So the federal unemployment benefit extensions are crucial. Many would argue they're as crucial, if not more crucial, than the stimulus checks, because we're talking about ongoing money. A lot of economists have said that the federal unemployment booster allowed the economy to sort of stay more or less even despite the significant surge in unemployment. And now the federal unemployment benefits don't exist. What we have is a patchwork program called the Lost Wages Assistance Program, set up by the president's executive order. So again, this is an effort by Mark Meadows to build pressure on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The Republicans want federal unemployment benefits. They are at that $300 mark. The Democrats, 100 Democrats, are now starting to pressure House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Steny Hoyer to have federal unemployment benefits. So if something is going to happen, I would expect this to be the first thing to happen. But so far, based on all the reporting we have so far, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is not budging. Speaking of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi budging, when she was in an interview yesterday with Jake Sherman over at Politico, she said that she was willing to cut her bill in half. And so as soon as she said that, the Republicans thought, whoa, she's willing to cut her requirement, which, she had come down to 2.4 trillion. Is she willing to come back down to 1.2 trillion? They had started working on it. But after Nancy Pelosi's staff actually clarified that, hey, we didn't mean go back down from there. We meant meet midway. That's what we meant to say. In other words, her position has remained the same. So the administration actually abandoned the effort to try and come close to where she wanted. It's very clear that Speaker Pelosi is standing firm. It's very clear that the White House wants to make a deal. The President has said so. The U.S. Treasury Secretary has said so. And the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, who are, by the way, the two lead negotiators on behalf of the White House, they've all said so. It's very clear that they all want a deal. At this moment in time, we don't know whether Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is going to meet with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has made abundantly clear that they have nothing to talk about until Republicans are willing to meet her in the middle. In other words, the GOP would need to go up by $1 trillion for them to come to some sort of a consensus. This is where things stand right now. This was on the skinny GOP plan, a plan that I believe has no meat on it. Hopefully, Mark Meadows and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi end up meeting. Like I mentioned before in my videos, I don't foresee them eating ice cream, giving each other high fives and taking selfies together. I highly doubt that'll happen. But I mean, don't blame me for trying a moment of brevity in this in this situation. But let's hope that something does indeed happen. As soon as some news comes out, I'll be happy to report it to my community. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video at Ignition Time. If you learn something new, please click like, please click subscribe. Please enable notifications so you get instant updates going forward. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. If you don't know anything about me, I have had the honor, the privilege of living the American dream, and I want to help you live the American dream. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel so I can give you instant updates with all the updates on our channel. Also, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. If you want to get alerts from us, get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000, that's 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS alerts list, and you can opt out at any time. You can also get emails from us and opt out at any time. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.